Woo! Wow. All right, we're cooking, brother.
What's up, buddy? Is your week going pretty good? You just asked me about mine. I guess I didn't really ask you about yours.
It's going good.
Yeah.
It's been busy. I've just been going like nonstop.
Yeah. Are you doing like a podcast every other day?
No, I haven't done a podcast since last week when we did it with Abby.
Oh, okay.
And then then I got one on Friday, and then I got 2 next week. Ours,
Nice.
and then another one after that.
Cool.
Then I'm doing some like women in business event or something like that,
Nice.
because I'm giving away something there, but I don't know what I'm giving away yet.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's like a basket. It's like a silent auction basket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give away like some sort of free podcast, something
Like a interview or something, or like
basically. Yeah.
That's neat. Huh. Wake up.
Woo!
I had an espresso shot about 4 o'clock, so I'm doing okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, all right, so
Cuban style with some brown sugar in it.
So this is something that I wanted to talk to you about. So, I haven't been drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So this stuff, I ordered it from Instagram. Fuck, I didn't bring some for you. Sorry. But
Okay, I'll just open this and just smell it.
just smell it. Just lick the inside of that bottle.
Shake, breathe, drink. Oh, it said you are supposed to breathe it.
So it's called Magic Mind.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been drinking coffee for, I don't know, maybe 2 months now. But did I tell you about this stuff?
You mentioned it to me. You showed me a picture that you had ordered it, but you hadn't started taking it yet. You said you have not had coffee in 2 months?
I haven't had coffee in 2
Really?
months. Yeah. So I started drinking that stuff maybe 6 days ago. But the reason why I got it is I was on Instagram just scrolling through stuff, and I think it's the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Basically got on, and he was like explaining how he thinks about coffee, and then also just like getting things done throughout your day. And like, it was the first time I ever heard somebody explain it in this way, and I was like, that makes a shitload of sense. So like, basically what he was saying is, you have your to-do list, right? And then those times when you have like, you don't want to do that to-do list, or like it feels super daunting, whatever it might be. It's not really what you have is like, he called it like a preventative layer of anxiety. It's like a low level preventative anxiety. So like something that makes you like not want to deal with whatever it is. So like for me, it was like a to-do list, or my email inbox, just like kind of piling up, or the notifications on LinkedIn, things like that. Those kinds of things that as they pile up and you feel like you're getting more and more in the hole, you're like, fuck it, I'm just not going to even do it.
Do any of it.
And so part of this stuff that I noticed is on the ad, like on the video of him talking, he says like, yeah, your to-do list will just like melt away. Like you don't even realize it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then the past few days, like legit, this is the first time I've been like ready to just fucking deal with working on music and like all of the things that I've like not wanted to dive into on all of these, like the new songs that I'm working on, and try to like pull them apart and put them back together. Like I just started doing them. And then the things that I needed to do for my business too, like I just started doing them. And it was like 7 p.m. and I was like,
really?
Shit, I got a lot of stuff done today.
So you're saying he said they'll melt away just by giving up coffee or by drinking this?
So I don't know if it's like give up coffee, because part of that stuff says like take it with a little bit of caffeine. So I've been having like a couple pieces like dark chocolate, or putting like some cacao nibs in a smoothie, but like some sort of caffeine or something. But I don't know what it is about that stuff. I think it's like ashwagandha. There's matcha in it.
So this does say take alongside your morning caffeine. Benefits build with daily use.
So it's been helpful,
dude. What is it saying here? Is it nootropic?
Yeah,
like a blend in there. I don't know much about that, but I know I've taken. I take it occasionally. What's that stuff from? Alpha Brain. Yeah, Alpha Brain. And I've taken that, and I kind of have maybe thought that I felt a difference, and that's like a nootropic blend or whatever.
Did you ever notice like what your stomach feels like?
I took it the first couple of times, and I felt nauseous.
That's the same thing, and I shit my brains out.
Yeah, see, I didn't do that, but I remember I took it. It was like on a weekend, and I took it in the morning. I was like, I got to be productive, and like I got to be on my game. I don't know what I was doing, but I took some in the morning. I had a couple eggs, and then like middle of the morning, I'm like, I can't remember what I was gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna do 10 push-ups every hour for the rest of the day. I was probably on some David Goggins kick or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like 30 push-ups in, and I was like, I'm gonna throw up, and I just felt terrible. And I assumed that it was probably that stuff.
Dude, I have felt pretty not great when taking that stuff, and I wish I could, because like I like the concept, but that's why I like this stuff. It's been different, and like I even noticed too. Like, do you ever get those days where it's like you start off the day and you're just behind, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get anything done.
Yes.
Like I had that yesterday where from like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. like I could not fucking shake my brain. Like I could not. It was like walking around with like a wet blanket or like a weight on your head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, very much so.
And so like even with that, doing some of the stuff just like sucked less.
Yeah.
I guess that would be a good way to say it.
So this is like your second time doing this, right?
What, the no coffee?
Yeah. Because you did it a while back.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Like, did you get like headaches or anything when you stopped drinking coffee in the morning?
No, I didn't get like headaches, but I noticed that like you feel really tired, and that like obviously makes sense, but when you feel tired, you're like more inclined to want to actually sleep or take a nap. So the times that I've gone off coffee and I'd be tired in like 2 or 3 or 4, if I could, I'd basically like try to take like a small nap, and then I'd be good again for the rest of the day. And then as I yawn into the fucking microphone. But one thing I did notice is that when you wake up after not drinking coffee, it's like you're ready to go. Like I'll wake up and I'm just like, let's go. Like I don't have any of that like huge lag or that like grogginess.
Yeah.
Like I'm already kind of inclined to just kind of wake up and be ready to go. But now I'm like, I don't have to like dust anything off. It's just, all right, cool. It's today. Yeah.
You know what I've noticed? That like I have a buddy, an old friend of mine, who's like an entrepreneur, and everything this guy touches turns to gold. He doesn't drink coffee. And then
Really?
there's like a lot of people I meet that I'd be like, oh, that guy must drink coffee. And they like, you see them in the morning, they're not drinking coffee. Like a guy this morning I ran into, and I was like going to get him some coffee or something. He's like, oh, I don't drink coffee. I'm like, really? Out of all people? I feel like the people that don't, not everybody, but there's a lot of people out there that are like very successful.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you just started, so the success will come.
I'm going to be super successful. So
I stopped drinking coffee and I made $10 million.
So I made my first $1 million, and the way I did it is stop drinking coffee and take naps.
Ooh, dude, I'm going to jump on that train.
It's not bad. It's like you just got to get used to it, and it sucked for the first like month of it, and it's weird because like there's like little things that just like call you back. They're like, just have a cup of coffee.
Just one small sip. Just give me a smell.
Just make some coffee. Like, why not have decaf right now? It would be really good to have a decaf.
Do you drink decaf still at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think it would be fine to.
It's got like a very small amount. Like
no, I'm not even worried about like the caffeine levels for for decaf. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. It's just like a mental thing. So some of the stuff that I'll have instead is like the Four Sigmatic. They have like that mushroom powder stuff.
Yeah, that stuff was great.
Yeah, dude. Like the chill one, it's like a cocoa powder or something. It feels like coffee, kind of.
Do you drink a lot of tea?
No.
Oh, dude, I love tea. There's like a tea for everything. Peppermint tea is good for like your, like if you have an upset stomach.
Uranus.
Could be good for Uranus. I guess towards the end. Like ginger, also good for your digestive tract.
For Uranus.
Chamomile is good to like fall asleep. Lavender, chamomile, like they all have these great purposes.
Just loosening up Uranus.
Oh Jesus!
But so what? Do you drink like a lot of tea all the time?
Yeah, I have in the last couple weeks, but I usually get into tea.
I did not mean to do that at the same time.
Marry me. Yeah, I like sometimes I'll get off of like a coffee kick and I want to have coffee free for a few days. But dude, I can do coffee for like 1 or 2 days and not have any.
And be fine and just like not have it.
Yeah, but do like day 3 or 4, I'm like I gotta have like I can tell like I'll like have a bad headache, just like be really groggy.
Dude, Michael Pollan has a good book. You know who that is?
No.
So I'm actually serious. So like, there's a guy named Michael Pollan, and he has a book. It's called Caffeine. What?
I have the giggles now.
And he talks about his anus.
Damn it.
And it's all about when you drink coffee, how you shit your ass, and it's like really gets all up in his anus, you know.
It sounds like a book I need to get.
So it's actually a video series.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, I'll skip
Pornhub.com/Michael.
I'll skip it all.
No thanks. I'm good. Actually, before that, do you know that in Bali they have a type of coffee called Kopi Luwak, and it's like coffee beans that like these big cats eat and shit out.
Is that
and
real?
then they like brew it. Yeah.
It's legitimate. I've heard that that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
Shit coffee. It makes
So
you
they-
shit. So I guess they
wash
lock,
it off. What do they do with like?
They lock these
They just
cats
like
in
wait with a
cages.
bag behind them and like, oh, all right, one coffee coming up.
Somebody must go in and take the
It's strange,
beans out
man.
of.
Here's the thing: we can't really say that it's strange because we probably do stuff to people in certain cultures, and they're like, "That is weird."
Yeah. Yeah, I think they found it by accident. I think it was one of those things that like the Dutch, I'm making this up, but like the Dutch like colonized Indonesia and like took over like a place called Java. You know how they call coffee Java?
Yeah.
Like there's a place in Indonesia, like an island called Java. So I think the way they found it is like the Dutch or whoever like were the colonizers were just like getting the regular coffee, and then the people that worked the fields had like this cat shit coffee, and they were like whatever, and then I guess one of them like drank it and was like, oh shit, this is way better than the regular shit,
Pretty
dude.
good. Pretty good.
It's pretty tasty. How did you guys make this? The cat shit.
Is that a Dutch accent?
I don't know what we pick beans from cat shit.
What an interesting story. Thank you for gracing us with that.
So Michael Pollan.
Yeah. So what is it?
So the book is about him not drinking caffeine for a few months and then trying to write this book about caffeine and just like some of the withdrawals that he has. And he kind of goes through like the history of it. But it's pretty interesting because he talks about how like up until, I don't know, 1600s, like... So like up to the 1600s, they had like...
Stop it.
They had like mostly like beer and mead and all this kind of shit. And then I guess like at a certain point they started...
Dude, I don't know if you've had to edit any of these yet, but this one you're going to have to edit in.
We're not editing
All right,
shit.
All right.
We got the
Stop
giggles.
saying shit.
So, oh shit. So, like it was cool to see like how they looked at the at the world. This reminds me of our first episode.
Yeah, we couldn't stop laughing. We knew that we looked like morons.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he did a.
This is serious, dude. Listen.
Be more serious.
Dude, we're trying to have a professional show. Be more serious.
I saw this thing. I don't know if this was real. I don't know if it was on Instagram. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good.
There was and this is right up your alley. A woman was having a baby on Halloween. They went to the hospital and like their family was there, and the doctor was dressed up as the Joker. Did you see her face?
Dude, that is such a great fucking video.
The doctor's just standing there. All the nurses are clapping, and she's got the baby, and she's like, "What?" Dude, and he legit had everything on, like the Joker, face painted.
Yeah, he
hair.
came in and like. The guy is like, imagine giving birth on Halloween and seeing this, and he flipped it around, and the guy is there, but also like the nurses are all in the background.
Yeah,
he's in like full Joker attire, and then you see him and the wife like.
I would have loved that.
You would have.
Oh, it was so funny, man. And then the best part was they showed the doctor without any of his stuff on at the end.
Yeah, like his headshot or something?
Yeah, just like his headshot in the hallway, yeah.
That's fucking so good.
I know.
I don't know. That would be something else to like have your doctor just walk in.
Like, I'm sure that he was probably like, "Oh, I didn't think that I was going to deliver any babies. I apologize."
You're a fucking doctor, dude. You gotta like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, true. I don't know. But usually, though, I think they like when you have your
doctorates, you don't do things.
No, no. I'm saying though, like if your patients, if you're like during that shift, you're like, all right, I know these patients are going to be probably coming in. He was probably like, oh, nobody's going to have a baby for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Or something. Or maybe he's just like, I really don't care.
It could be because he said like delivered early.
Yeah.
So we're doing it. We're like having the baby at with a midwife.
Yeah.
And apparently she had like 8 deliveries in like a 4-day period or something.
Wow.
She like ran them all herself. So that was October. So we'll see what happens. We're just waiting on this fucking baby.
Yeah, dude. We thought it was going to be last week for sure.
I did too. We'll see.
It's okay. They used to say my first couple classes I took in college, I had an anatomy class, and they always said that like it's better for a baby to stay in there longer the better.
Really?
Yeah.
The one thing that they're worried about is like literally the baby shitting in there and then breathing in the shit.
I didn't know that was a legit concern.
Wow. Just keeping it on topic today.
I guess so. That's just strange.
Yeah, because like I guess if they shit inside of the womb, like they're breathing all that stuff, so they can get like shit in their lungs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You learn stuff new all the time. I had no idea that. When you go to these appointments, usually they'll tell you like everything you need, or at least you think they're telling you everything you need to know, and I never heard that.
So the thing that I don't think that there's like a set date that you have to have the baby by. I'm sure there is some sort of thing.
If you don't have it within a couple weeks, they probably just induce you and
I'm sure there's something that you have to do within a certain time. But like the main thing with what we're doing is like the only real time restrictions are like from when the water breaks in Florida. I guess you have 20 if you're not doing it at a traditional hospital, like you have 24 hours to deliver the baby. Yeah. Otherwise, you have to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would assume that.
So yeah.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. Unfortunately, I won't be able to edit this until after the baby comes, and it probably won't come out for a few weeks after. So then Rebecca won't listen to this and feel like
she will be very upset. You're not at all, Becca.
So she's doing good, but
that's good.
She's wanting to have this baby.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Lily came early.
How early?
A week, I think.
Really?
Yeah, a full week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she could have stayed there longer, but
yeah, my friend had this anatomy class that he took, and they said that if the baby stays in there longer, it's better.
Longer the better, yeah.
Yeah.
It lets him, cook a little bit
so
longer.
we're just going to have her wait forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not a
She'll
bad
be in
move.
there for another 2-3 weeks, maybe.
Oh, Becca would go nuts.
She would kill somebody. For everyone's sake, I hope that it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't come to
It's
that.
probably going to be in the next few minutes, and then we'll look back and laugh at this. She'll call you.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited to start this new podcast that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
These
fun.
records and things.
Yeah. I didn't even think about doing that until you were like, hey, we should do a records and things
Dude, I was
podcast.
thinking about it, but I was wondering, like, okay, how would you do this with the music stuff? And
Yeah.
then I was talking to somebody, and they were like, yeah, this person's doing a podcast. They're doing it Spotify exclusive, and you can play music and all this kind of stuff. So, like, dude, I was thinking of, I was writing down albums that we could review.
Dude, I have
Yeah, dude.
so many.
Sticky Fingers, Led
Yes.
Zeppelin,
Yes.
Turnstile, 311, J. Cole, Carole King, Pepper, Expendables,
Oh,
Motion
Carole
City
King.
soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. So like,
Yeah.
we'll take a look after this of like how that system
For
works.
sure.
But dude, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's just like sit down, listen to a whole album.
What do you think we should like play the album, give like a commentary as the
Yeah.
album's going?
Literally that. Because
There's
I-
literally a section, and that's when I went and set it up through Anchor. It's very easy to use that stuff.
really.
Yeah, I like you do all this stuff, and it's like I know you put a ton of time into it, and this I was like expecting to like have to go through all these steps, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it like took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to just set it up, push it through. Spotify approves it or whatever, and
Yeah, dude. Pretty sweet. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool how easy this stuff is. Like,
yeah, if you're just doing like a low end me plugging my Audio
It's-
Technica mic into my Scarlett.
well, and plus, I was thinking we could probably do it with this thing where we plug
Yeah.
this into the actual computer, and then we just talk into this thing, and then
That'd be
like,
perfect.
yeah, and then we just have it set up like that, so that way it's doing all this mixing and stuff for us, and then it's just right in tandem with the music. I just want
Yeah.
to talk about the music and stuff, like
I know.
just fucking jam out to it
That's
because
yeah.
I don't need to give like some like sophisticated opinion.
No, dude.
Nobody gives a fuck about
Nobody
that.
cares. Yeah, no, and that's my thing, dude. Like when I was like starting this Instagram, I was like, I'm just gonna do this because I love these bands. Like, there's too many critics out there that wish that they could play guitar, wish they could start
Yeah.
bands, and they're like, oh, this album is terrible. Oh, the singing on this. I'm like,
Go fucking learn an instrument.
yeah. I'm like, oh, that's
loser.
cool. Or like people like food critics, taste like shit. Like, dude, you can't make food that is even probably half as good as
Yeah.
this. So it's like I want to just like give people recommendations. I don't want to be a critic of stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody's making their own art, and that's why like I kind of got into the art challenge that we're doing right now. I was like, dude, all my stuff's probably gonna suck, but like I just want to I want to do stuff and see what I can create.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like. When other people create stuff, I want to like check it out, admire it, see how it can influence me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Like
like
pass these albums on to other people that have no idea that they're out there.
exactly, man. Like who has time to be like a total critic? Like that shit sucks. That's gotta suck. Like just spending all your time being like, this sucks. Like, no, I want to listen to some I want to listen to some music. I want to like share bands that I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
And like if people like what we're doing, they can listen to us talking about it and be a part of it. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it just baffles me. Like you said, that's just who has time to do be a critic. And I mean, obviously, people make a living, a very good living. Some critics.
Yeah, but let them do that. Like,
I have no need for that.
Yeah, let them do that. That's their role.
Like
in the universe.
not a critic, like reviewers, even like
Yeah.
not really into reviews, not into reviewers.
So on the Tim Dillon show,
Yeah.
like they looked at the mayor of Chicago currently. Apparently, she's a fucking whack job.
Yeah, I don't even know who it is.
Her name's-
Chicago.
Yeah, her name's Lori Lightfoot. Apparently, she's like a nut job. And so they went and like found out that she has like she's Yelp reviewed like a bunch of things and like just like exactly what you would expect from somebody that is like hates the police, like all of this stuff and like
Terrible.
Yeah, just like dysfunctional city, like the worst Yelp reviewer ever. So apparently she like went and she used a limo service and was like late, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then left like a horrible review. And then the company like responded and was like, this is all not true in the slightest. This is what happened. Here's what we have. We have record of this person here. It's like, So it's like the mayor of Chicago, apparently, allegedly, is a shitty Yelper and a liar. Like, if you're willing to lie on a Yelp review, like, what's the point?
It's bad vibes.
Yeah.
And dude, like, I don't know where I heard this, but I loved it. Oh, I think Muhammad Ali said this. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. You can post a quote about anything and say so-and-so said this and you believe it. But it was like in a meme quote. It was like, I don't trust anybody that's rude to like waiters or service people. Dude. Because if I was in that position, they would be that way to me. I'm like, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime that I'm with somebody that's a dick to waiters or something like that, I'm
cringe,
like,
man. I'm
get
like,
the fuck away from me.
It's terrible.
Dude, this is going out to everybody. If you treat waiters like shit or waitresses, you're a piece of shit.
That's true.
It's
true.
Yeah. Fuck you.
I saw this cool thing I got to read into. It was on LinkedIn about, Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
The guy that does, all the dirty jobs.
I like that guy.
Yeah, super cool. He seems like he's super down-to-earth guy. And there's an article. You should read it. I'll forward it to you. I just read the little caption, so I have to read it also. But it was about how, like, people in, like, that do those types of things, like, that's the reason that employment's so messed up right now is because people are trying to stay away from those jobs. And he's like, those jobs are so undervalued. He's like, you don't realize how detrimental this is, like, to our country right now.
So what do you mean?
I don't know yet. I have to read it, but it was like the caption was him giving his take on like is there 11 million jobs open right now?
Yeah.
Or does that sound right? I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. Because if you think about it, that's a really good point. Because if you think about it, you have a bunch of these jobs that are lower paying jobs that are open that tend to be like interact with the public type jobs, low paying. And then you do have the factor of people getting like subsidized by the government with, like stipends or stimulus checks and things like that. But also, that's actually a good point because that never felt complete to me, right? Like
what didn't feel complete?
Like, oh, nobody wants it because they're just getting this free money. It's like, yes, but people look for purpose. But on the flip side of that is like if you have like a low paying job that kind of like maybe kind of sucks or right now it kind of sucks because the people that you'd be dealing with are the public and like you like go to take a fucking breath with no mask on and then there's some woman that's like yelling at you like you're gonna fucking put me in danger. It's like, who am I putting in danger? You don't have any kids.
Get away
your
from
parents
me.
Don't like you, so you're not endangering any old people. So like what the fuck is your problem? Like so that's actually a good point, and that's a shitload of jobs.
Yeah, and that's and those jobs are essential jobs, dude.
Yeah.
People that are preparing food, maybe like obviously bartenders, like not that stuff, but there's a lot of essential jobs that people, are in the service industry and then people treat them horribly.
Yeah.
And it makes people steer away from those jobs. Why wouldn't it? You want to, be at a job every day where you have customers coming in and it's like always your fault that these things aren't ready. I am late to an appointment. Like, okay,
dude,
give people some respect, man.
Dude, I had like, and there's certain people that love to flip out though. So like, I got a neighbor who, like, dude, he lost it. 2 mornings ago, they came through the whole community. The landscape company like mulched like the whole community, and I guess he had like a little sign on like a little front area that said like "Don't mulch." It was like a really small sign, and dude, they're just going through and they like fucking carpet bomb the community with like the mulch and stuff. So they're not. Nobody's like looking at a sheet like, this guy's
there's a garden. I'm gonna mulch it. There's a
it's just like we have like 3,000 bags of mulch, however many it is. Like they stack it up down the
they
whole
put them
street.
on pallets.
On pallets down the whole street.
Yep.
We're just throwing it out. And this guy is like walks out of his house and is like, motherfucker, what the fuck? And I was like, I got like the dog out front and I was like, oh shit. And I see him walking down. He's like yelling at this dude. It's like, it's like I don't know, like Hispanic worker. He doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
He's just doing his fucking job. Like putting mulch out. And this guy's flipping out at him. He's like, where's your supervisor? And the guy's like, I don't know if he speaks English at all, but it's pretty universal when somebody's flipping out at you.
For sure, yeah, you know they're upset.
Yeah, and so he goes and gets the supervisor, and he's flipping out. I couldn't hear what he said. And then I see him like walking back, and he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, motherfucker! Like he's like, can't fucking believe. And it was like, dude, they put out some mulch.
Yeah,
people
what's the big deal?
Out.
Maybe he was gonna like plant some more trees or something. So just move the mulch out of the way.
Yeah, but don't flip out.
Yeah, there's no reason to. They're just doing their jobs.
Yeah, don't lose your shit over this.
Dude, like you don't know what people like. You have no idea what people have going on in their lives at all.
No.
You walk by 100 people a day, dude, and a lot of those people are probably going through some pretty rough stuff.
Or just weird shit that's taking them out.
Or just having a bad day. Like,
Yeah.
not everything's serious, but you just be nice to everybody. There's really no reason. I mean, I get mad at stuff.
Yeah.
But
try not to lose my shit, though.
Yeah, exactly. You just make your day worse and you make everybody else's day worse.
But some people love that.
Yeah.
But that's like their, I don't know, like that's their like role. Do you ever think about this stuff? Like stoicism definitely makes me think about this. Like where I think everybody has some sort of role that they play, and some people's role is to be that person, you know? Like I'm not that person, and that guy fucking sucks. When the mulch goes down, that sucks, but also that might be the guy that like in some other circumstance that you need somebody to be an asshole, like that guy might be the perfect guy to be the one to be an asshole.
He could. Maybe just it comes around.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
So like that's part of what I see what bothers me when I see a lot of people like, I'm guilty of it sometimes too, but when you see a lot of people like, you shouldn't be like this, or like you need to be this way. And it's like, you don't understand the universal balance of things.
Yeah. Well, see, I guess I should have said there's a difference between like getting upset and like, you know, blowing your top or whatever versus like being disrespectful to somebody.
Yeah.
Like
well,
it's easy
not,
for like,
it's still not good for that guy to do that.
No, it's not, but like I recently got like angry at some like the house that I bought. You know, there's just some issues with my house, so I got a little frustrated with the community, you know, and I probably was a little bit more angry than I should have been about it. But I like made sure that the guy knew, like, hey man, I'm not yelling at you, but do you understand my frustration like with these things? Like, I'm sorry that I went a little crazy. You know, I get it. Not everybody's gonna be like that, and you're right. There's a balance to everything.
Yeah, but that's
because if nobody ever got mad about anything, then you would have no. Oh, everybody's happy. I'm going to do a shit job on this. I was like, cool. Nobody cares.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Just let this thing fall over.
Yeah, of course. Of course people are going to get mad. But.
Yeah. And it's good that some people get mad, because I'm not more prone to that. Like, I get pissed. I get mad. I don't flip out at people all that much. The only people I flip out at, or I've not flipped out at, but like I wanted to like kill in that moment, 2 times, the people working behind the desk at Delta Airlines.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Aspen Dental. I was about to agree with you.
Aspen Dental.
Oh, the worst, dude.
Really? What happened?
You go first, and then I'll tell you.
Well, one time I was like, this was like the worst hangover I ever had, and I was in Vegas after aviation conference. And so it was right after like Hurricane Irma. So there was another hurricane that was supposedly coming the day I was flying out. And so like the game plan was, okay, fly out a day early so that way you don't get stuck here and then you're late to the show, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so I had a round trip ticket there and back. And I went to go change my ticket, and it was like $700. Or I could buy a new ticket and spend $300. And so I bought a new ticket, flew there like on a one-way, and then I go to the counter while I'm super duper duper hungover, and they go, "Oh, your flight's canceled. Like your ticket is canceled." I was like, what? Like, what happened? And they're like,
Can you say what again?
what? And I was like, what? What happened? And they're like, yeah, it looks like you didn't take your first flight. And so since you didn't take that flight and you didn't notify us, we just canceled your round trip ticket. And I was like, and I definitely had alcohol poisoning. Like, that's how hungover I was. And I was like, okay, so can you get me on another flight? And she's like, no. And I was like, you don't have, we're in Las Vegas. You don't have a single flight out of Las Vegas for the entire day, for 24 hours. And she looks and she goes, there's like a flight at like 8 p.m. And I was like sitting there. I was ready to like launch over the counter and be like, fuck you. And my brother's just like, grabs me by the arm. He goes, I booked you a flight on Southwest. Let's go. And he just grabbed me, and I was like,
in an alternate universe, you jumped over that counter and just started beating the hell out of everybody.
Start swinging. Everybody. Women, old men, indiscreetly swinging.
We just talked about how not to get mad at people, and then we tell our stories about how we get mad at people.
Dude, that's all part of it.
It's humanity, yeah.
It is. And then another time I went to go transfer, and I was like, hey, like, I've got this flight, like, could I try transferring to like this flight maybe, so I could just get home like 2 hours earlier? There was like another flight that was like a 2 hours earlier one, and then it was like this. It was like the same thing. It was like both times like they were like, oh, somebody needs help, and I can crush their dreams. I'm so excited. And I was like,
your turn.
No, you little bitch, you can't go home. Yeah. You can wait. And then
airport.
You know what like really pissed me off about it was, it wasn't even like, no, I'm really sorry we don't have that one. And looking at this one, I don't think it'll help your situation. Like, we could do it, I just don't think it'll help. Like, I can appreciate somebody telling me that what I want to do isn't possible. Just sell it to me nicely. Versus like, I think she said, you could take that flight, but I'm going to charge you a bunch. And actually, if you switch, I'm going to put you on the later flight. I was like, that's like, literally.
But I'm going to.
It's like, it's one of those things where you want to ask, it's like, are you stupid? Like,
you having a bad day?
Yeah. Like, how did you get this job? Like, it was like it was just like so beyond stupid that it was like malicious.
Yeah.
You know? Good. I fucking hate that shit. When you call Southwest and you have an issue, they're like, yeah, I just did a backflip and I made it happen. And you're like, all right, cool, thanks.
Well, the thing, like airlines do, they don't really have to cater to anybody or be really customer service oriented, because it's like, hey, you have no other options. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
What you gonna do, you little bitch?
Yeah. No, you can do this, or you can do that, or you can sit here for the next 4 days. I don't care.
Yeah. So what was yours?
Oh, dude, just Aspen Dental, man. Like, the worst. Have you ever went and like looked at their reviews? They're just terrible, dude.
Really?
Very bad. I went there one time, and this wasn't anything to their. I don't have qualms with anybody besides Aspen Dental. I went in there one time, and this is like a testament to like not the quality of the work that they do, which is awful, also awful, but but dude, I went in there one time, and I'm sure everybody's just having a bad day in there, so I don't want to like say anything about that. But there was a guy, man, he was in a wheelchair, and I had got in there, and I had been sitting there for an hour waiting. And he was in there, and he had asked them, like, hey, I asked you guys to call the transport about an hour ago, so right? And I'd been sitting there, so I was like, okay, so he's been sitting there, and like an hour and a half goes by, and they're like, I can see they're like clearly ignoring everything he's saying, and he needs some help. So I'm like, I go up there, and I'm like, hey, this guy, he needs some help. Like, he's asking for you guys to call. I'm like, have you guys called? And they're like, yeah, they'll come when they come. And he's sitting there, and I can tell, like, he's probably got medicine he's got to take. He's got to get home. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell he needs help. So they're just like, they keep ignoring this guy. And so I'm like, yo, is anybody going to call the transport for him? He's been here. The lobby's full. So finally, I ended up calling, like, the transport for this guy. And, like, the manager came out. They're like, you didn't have to do that. I'm like, no, I did have to do that because he'd already been sitting here for probably close to 2 hours at this point. You can tell that like he's somebody that needs assistance, and you guys have been ignoring him the whole time. And they like made a big deal about it while I was there. You know, like, oh, you should have done that. And then the manager comes out, and then he's like reprimanding his team. And I'm like, dude, like what? Why was this even a thing that another customer had to take care of? One of your customers. Like that to me is absolutely. And being in like and working for a company that's like very customer service oriented.
Yeah.
Like that's not how you treat people.
No.
It's terrible.
Imagine the manager came out and started reprimanding you.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm waiting to get my teeth cleaned too.
You go back there, we're gonna yank your teeth out.
Yeah, that I should have. Yeah, or give you a little bit of sleeping gas. No. Needless to say, they called me back, or they called me recently. They're like, "Hey, are you ready to come here for your 6-month cleaning?" I was like, "No, I will never be coming back."
Did you say that?
Oh yeah. Hey. But I just said it. I was just like, "No, no, thank you."
No thanks. If I was in a wheelchair, I'd be fucked.
Yeah. It was just like, but I wasn't rude to him about it. I just was like, somebody needs to help this guy, and nobody was helping this guy.
Yeah. Well,
easy solutions.
Yeah, dude. This book is actually it's pretty good. It's Red Cape Rescue. I'm gonna interview the author in like a week and a half.
Where is he from here?
It's her name's Darcy. Yeah, she lives in Bonita.
Is she from here? Really?
Yeah, so she's like a business coach, and so she hold on. Oh, okay. No, it's all right. I'm just waiting on the phone call.
Yeah.
And both my parents call me, but
this is cool, dude.
Yeah, dude. So it's like basically her whole concept with it is like basically it says save your career without leaving your job, but it is interesting because it's a lot of stuff that is basically like take a look at yourself and the way you're looking at things before you go like I got to get a new job, you know? So there's a bunch of it's kind of interesting that there's like a bunch of themes like the 4 agreements, all that kind of stuff. A lot of it
is like looking inward before you.
Yeah, and just like the voice in your head, that resistance piece, you know, the way you talk to yourself, like watch the way that you talk to yourself. Yep. And then when you're in like that despair, do you just like say like, all right, I'm in this despair and that's it? Or do you like look for ways forward?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever notice that with your mindset? Like if you feel like you're in a state of like I'm fucked or like I'm just like despair, then if you just leave like the sentence end off at that, like, oh, I'm in despair, you get a different result than like I'm in despair, but like I can do something, you know? Like adding that little piece like to the sentence like has a huge impact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, just talking to yourself in rough times and just saying like, okay, I can do this versus like, oh, this sucks, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference.
Yeah. And you'll just be there forever. You'll be stuck.
Yeah.
So
that's some people get stuck, man.
Yeah.
They spiral out of control.
Yeah. Well, dude, I feel like I've got a propensity for that, you know? I think
like going into that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, just like getting stuck, it's like spiraling into like a state of despair, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, so that's why I like that stuff, the Magic Mind shit, because it's like
more stress less.
If I can
I like the art.
If I can avoid, it's not about like avoiding stress in this way that you like see everybody that's like, oh, you got to be like stress free. It's like I've tried that and it's kind of bullshit because you literally don't get anything done. And part of what makes me like happy about things and feel content is like when I achieve things and when I like get something done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like the totally carefree, stress less type shit is like I get what they're going for, but it doesn't suit me. So like if you take a real practical approach to the like stress mitigation, as a way of moving forward versus like doing nothing, that in combination with the shit in this book is actually, it's pretty helpful, because some of the stuff in here is good and it's practical, but sometimes you even have like the most practical knowledge. Do you ever notice this? Like, it could be the most practical thing, but if you aren't willing to implement it or accept it or see it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so like this kind, like, it's like that's part of it, but it's just like mitigating that stress to the point where you can look at like a to-do list or things you need to do and be like, okay, I'm not totally falling behind. Nobody hates me. Like, I can do this. This is going to be all right. Like, you kind of have to get that combo right. So that's what I'm noticing.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to check that out when you're done with it.
So I'm almost done. I'm on part 3. I'll give it to you though.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Wow. Real interesting, dude.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Wow. A brain fart.
Where did you come up with this art challenge?
I don't know. I just used to be into like artsy stuff. In high school, I remember like doing like some sculptures, and I got into like kind of painting. I did like doodle a little bit. Nothing was ever good. I just enjoyed it. It's funny, dude, because that's what I was gonna say. Speaking about stress, real fast, rewind.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary to have a little bit of stress, like you said, have a little bit of tension, dude. But you have to channel where you put the stress to, because you can put it into like, then this is, like, it's kind of cool. Now it goes into this thing about art. The other day I was painting, man. I just got totally lost in it. It's a goofy ass painting, that cow. But I was like doing it, and like an hour went by, and I was like, whoa, I didn't think about anything that I'm usually stressing about. And I felt so relaxed after that hour of me just like painting along. And I was like, okay, I kind of got like lost in it. And it's been a long time since I've gotten like lost and something like that for 60 minutes. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was a different feeling. And then so I started that night, and I was like, dude, I want to do this for 30 days.
So like, what did you getting lost in that and then kind of coming back to reality, or just like realizing where the time went? Was there anything that you noticed about like time or your mood change? Like, what was like the primary thing you noticed?
I don't know if this makes sense, but I like was paying more attention to like things that I wouldn't have.
What
like
do you
even
mean?
like the next day. I don't know if this is just me overthinking this, but like I was driving to work, and I was like, oh, I never noticed like this beautiful tree over here. I don't know if that's unrelated or something, but when I was on the way, I was like, whoa, like this, my drive looks different. And then I was like, I wonder. And then I texted you shortly after that. I was like, I wonder if this has anything to do with me, like not worrying so much, because I'm at the age now, it's like, oh, you want to provide a lot of money for your family, do these things. So you're always like looking for like these side hustles and want to do these things. I'm like, maybe I should just start doing things that I enjoy, and maybe the money will come that way. I need to stop focusing on like monetary value of things and like worrying about having all this stuff. Like,
so like when you go do this, and then you notice that you're like paying attention to more things. Like, is it visual only? Is it new thoughts? Is it like what all new things were you
like
seeing?
I just like, dude, it's only been a couple days, and I feel a little bit more creative. I feel like the need to make more stuff. Like even at work, I felt like more productive today.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's like I sent you that thing the other day, and it was like, if you just take a 15-minute break every hour, it almost like resets you.
Yeah.
I remember it was like 30 minutes or something. It's almost like that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take an hour a day or 30 minutes a day and just like do something that is completely unrelated to anything else in my life.
Yep.
And I think that's almost like a little reset.
That's a good point.
Kind of holds like that burnout of the daily life and the daily grind.
You start to see things in like a wider perspective.
Yeah. Because you get the blinders on.
Yeah.
Day after day doing the same stuff, having the same goals. It's like, and and I used to do this stuff when I was younger, and like the music thing too. I was like, I hate social media, man. And look at me now. I post like for a week. I post every day on Instagram, and then now I'm doing like every other day on the records and things. And I was like, I just want to share good music with friends.
Yeah, dude. So with the social media stuff, like I'm legit in the same boat. Let me just
Yeah. Everything good?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm legit in the same boat where it's like for the longest time I just avoided social media because it's like I view a lot of it as like a life suck, you know? It's like a time suck, it's a life suck. Like I took Instagram, Facebook, all that shit off my phone because I would realize like I was on there scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and so like I also didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Like feeding into that for somebody else. But part of what I'm seeing with it, I don't know if you see this too, but by setting like a schedule of what I'm going to post and like being pretty intentional with it, both on the LinkedIn side for like the business and trying to grow like the podcast production business side and marketing, and then also on the Instagram side for I just switched it to just be the podcast and all that kind of stuff. But doing that is making me start to think outside the box a little bit in terms of like what kind of things I can share with people, what kind of value I can bring. And then I'm starting to look at other people that do that kind of stuff, especially in the podcast space. Like there's a guy, his account's called Poddex, and he does all kinds of shit where he posts things and he shares like ideas with podcasters on how to grow your stuff.
And see, like that's a healthy way to use social media.
Exactly.
And I think that's cool that you're like, you set limitations because you can spiral. I don't have TikTok, but I know people who have it and they're like zip, like da-da-da-da-da-da. So you do the same thing with Instagram, or YouTube even has like the little reels now. But yeah, dude, setting limitations, that's a good idea.
Yeah, dude. And you know what I noticed is if you plan it out, like what I started doing the past couple of weeks is Monday, I take an hour and I plan out everything I'm going to do for LinkedIn on my personal, LinkedIn on my business, and then Instagram. I'm a little bit more fluid with Instagram because I'm still more trying to figure it out. But like setting those posts, like, okay, I set an hour aside for social media per day. That's for responding to people. That's for posting things. And I already have like kind of a plan. And then LinkedIn, I also go and like connect with 15 people a day. So I grow my...
Wow, that's a lot of people.
But it's not that much. Once you kind of figure out how to do it, it's not that many because especially if you can figure out what your target market is. Because right now mine is like Naples, Bonita, Fort Myers, and like small and medium-sized businesses that I think can benefit from doing a podcast for a whole number of reasons. But if I can grow that connection base, and then I put out those like quick tip videos like I was talking about.
Yeah, those are actually really cool, man.
Yeah, so like if I put that out, I can get more eyes on that. And so while I'm taking care of my current customers, I'm using that as ways to like get the ideas going for people about doing a podcast for their business. And so like if I can do that and get that going, like that's something that social media can help do for me. And it makes me think outside the box and like, how do I actually give people value? Like I used to be like, oh, I don't want to self-promote. And I don't want to. But also like if I can give people value, that's pretty cool. And then in turn, I can make that into like some sort of business.
Yeah.
But that's the cool part about the 30-day challenge stuff is that it just can turn into something that you don't expect.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this kind of came from your 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
In a way, right?
It really did. I mean, did the music production, learned a ton during that time.
Dude, I forget that you, like, do you still have all that equipment and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot, like, coming to your house and you had, like, all this stuff and, like, you were working like a madman making songs and that. Like,
yeah.
Because it's just, I feel like you're in this era, the podcast era. And, like, that just seems like so far ago, but it really wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Probably in the same year.
8 months ago.
Yeah.
which is crazy. It feels like forever ago.
I
But
know.
you know what? What feels good lately, I think that stuff helped, being intentional with it, and then also just waiting for the baby. I've been working from home.
Yeah.
Is like in the mornings for at least an hour or two, like I've been like working on these songs and like really like applying myself to a piece of art.
Yeah.
And that is opening up my brain for all kinds of other things. You know, it's like what you were saying.
Isn't that wild, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like now starting to, I feel like, feel that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what's at the end of this 30 days. I mean, you've already kind of done it with, once, and it seems like it's done wonders. So I was like, I'm excited to see, man. Once I get to like the 2-week mark, I'm sure it'll be.
You gotta stick with it though.
I know.
Even like the days like I don't have anything done for today. I'm gonna have to go do it.
Yeah, I scribbled half of a verse on a napkin today that I was writing, but that was that's it. So.
Jesus, like my fucking parents. Yeah, so like you got to stick with it though. Like even the nights when you're like, dude, it's like 11:30 and I don't want to do this, like
I'm gonna do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Like those are the times when it actually makes a difference, because those are the decisions that are like, well, then I'm just not going to do it.
It feels so good, dude, just to like make something also.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like artistic. Like super artistic. Like my thing last night.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. I love that.
Dude, I love Canva. Canva is cool.
Yeah, explain that to me. I don't know what.
Canva is like, almost think of it like a really simple and easy to use version of like Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop or PowerPoint. Like so you can make videos, you can make presentations, you can make logos, icons.
Did you like? So when you put like the cat on there, isn't it a cat?
Yeah.
Did you like put the glasses on the cat?
Yeah. So so I had like the music I made in Logic, and then I downloaded that, I uploaded it to Canva, and then I just typed in 80s, and then I've had that like synthwave looking thing. I set that as the background and put the cat there. Got a pair of glasses.
That was badass.
The letters
cool.
that said "Oh shit," and then
and
like all the boom box and stuff. So like, yeah, it's super easy, and it's $15 a month, and it's really cool too. Like I got my business cards from there. You can literally design something, and then if you need to like make a business card from it, you can like hit like a button in the top that says like business card. It resizes it, gives you both sides, and then you can have them make it and they'll ship it to you.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you hit like, you need to change it from like,
is it like
Instagram
a month? Is it like a monthly fee you have to pay to use it?
It's $15 for their pro.
That's really not
$15 a month. That's not bad.
I had that Adobe for 1 month. I don't know what.
$53.
Or so yeah, it was something stupid. I was like, whoa.
And I have it still.
Remember when you were buying fonts?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, you went font crazy. But there were some cool fonts.
There were some cool fonts. Yeah. But like Canva uses the Google Fonts library, and it's plenty of fonts.
You probably saw that and you're like, oh my God. I have $10,000 in fonts just sitting on my Mac.
I can't believe I spent $150,000 in fonts. Dude. Oh, did I tell you I'm redesigning my website?
Well, I was going to ask you, because I saw your logo change on the Instagram, and then you had, that was your first challenge.
Yeah.
It was different, so I was like, oh, maybe you're switching things up a little bit.
So for Instagram, I realized that as far as I can tell, the Instagram should be more for this podcast and promoting that. And then I'll have to figure out Facebook at some point. I just know once I go on there and look at Shine Productions on Facebook, it's going to be like, if somebody found that and had no idea about anything, they'd be like, what the fuck is this? It's like a picture of me playing music, and then it's just all Instagram posts that came over, and it's like me.
So it's like the Facebook's made itself from the collection of Instagram. And
yeah, like you had to have Instagram shared to Facebook and stuff like that.
I see. I never shared any of my stuff.
So like if you link them up together, you can do that. But I know mine's just gonna be a jumbled mess. But I want to redo the website, because I think the first one I did, I just needed to have a website, and I like labored over it and all that stuff. And I think the reason why it took me so long to do it is because I didn't know what I was like selling. You know, like I didn't know what my services were going to be. I didn't know what people needed, what their pain points were. And so actually what I did is I went and I put a poll out on LinkedIn, and I just basically said like CEOs, business owners, directors of sales and marketing, like what is the primary reason why you wouldn't start a podcast for your business? Something along those lines. And I just said like no time, no ROI, it's too complicated, or don't know where to get started. And I think that poll closed sometime today. So I'll go back and get it. But I don't know, like 10 people responded to it and just answered. So I'm actually taking that stuff and I'm making those the primary things that you see when you come in on the website. So it's like, here's what we do, keep it really simple, and then like it says what's your excuse, you know?
Yeah.
No time, don't see the ROI, XYZ, and then I'm going to build out like guides for people. So like you have free resources to like address these things.
Dude, you know what I think, you probably just see this on your Instagram, but the things that I enjoy the most at least are the like the small like 15-30 second snippets of the people like in a podcast, because it really grabs like, oh, all right, there's this amazing interesting person on here, you pull it in like, okay, oh well, I have things to talk about almost, and you know, and that's what grabs me. I'm sure it's got to grab other people's attentions too, but dude, those little snippets I think do a world of good.
I'm just gonna keep working on these snippets and putting this together and doing all that stuff and see what happens. But I want to be like more targeted with that, and that's why I'm like setting the time to do it. You know, it's helping with the business side, but it also helps with like that weird anxiety that you get when you're now constantly checking social media and Instagram. I haven't checked it in
a while.
It's do you feel like you get that?
Sometimes I try to keep my phone away from me at night, dude. I'm bad. I'll go like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed at 9 o'clock tonight, and I'll be on my phone till like 10:30 scrolling through stuff. I'm like, why did I just do this? And Jen will be like, you said you were gonna go to bed. I was like, I know. Try sitting there scrolling through, looking at stuff. Useless.
Yeah. What else you want to talk about? You got anything else?
No, man. Had a pretty chill week. 30-day challenge we started. That'll be interesting.
I think next show what we'll do is I'll get us a couple sets of headphones, and then we can play some of the stuff from Pod Inbox. Did you see the thing that Bill said?
I listened to Bill's today. Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah.
So if you guys are listening, go to. So basically, what Pod Inbox is the ability for you to leave a message for us. We can go in and listen to it, and then we'll actually play it on the show. And if you got questions, we'll answer them. If you're like Bill and you want to just ask my dad how he hasn't killed me or my brother,
you could do that too.
You can do that too.
Yeah.
And then chineon.com is live.
Cool. Yep.
It's got all the episodes, all the videos. It's got the blog. So our 30-day challenge is going up there. So we're
that's cool. You're posting every day on the 30-day challenge so people can see our amazing or not so amazing artwork.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, part of the challenge though is making it public.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do like a 30-day challenge, you have to put out everything, even if it sucks, because that is the accountability part. On my old 30-day challenge videos, most of them I had 1 view, 3 views, 2 views.
That's okay.
Who gives a shit? Like,
yeah. I don't care. I'm in it to do it for me anyway. But it is nice to have like a possible big audience, because then people can be like, oh, you're worried about people like, oh, I told all these people that I'm gonna do this every day, so I gotta do this every day.
And if you think that way, like,
you gotta I got an album recommendation.
So if you think that way, like, oh, I don't want to put it out because I don't want like
people
to be bad, blah blah blah. Whatever, you're gonna be fucked. Like, there's a difference if you want to do something like professionally and you want to do it so you can like make money and all that stuff. Yes, you want to be like a certain level of professionalism, but like for a 30-day challenge, like, dude, you're not Mozart. Shit's not. Nobody cares.
Not,
like, if people find it, great. If not, they're not gonna find it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What do we got,
dude? So this album, you can have this album. Meatbodies. Have you heard of Meatbodies?
Meatbodies.
Meatbodies. So you know I'm on this fuzz kick Ty Segall. I'm a huge fan. Amazing artwork. I love the album cover.
Meatbodies.
Meatbodies. So the guy. So
thanks, dude.
Yeah. So you know who Ty Segall is.
Mm-hmm.
Such a prolific artist. He's amazing. He's in another band called Fuzz. The guy that plays bass in Fuzz plays. I think he writes all the songs in this, and he plays guitar and vocals. Chad Ubovich. Sorry, Chad, if I'm butchering your name. Dude, super good. Every song is amazing. The first song kind of starts off as a soundscape, and then it just goes into like this very intense. Do you know the band Waves?
Yeah.
It's almost like a heavy version of Waves. It's kind of like a surf punk, fuzzy, but dude, it's good.
Whoa, this is cool artwork.
I know, it blasts from start to finish. So that's their first album. They only have 3 albums, but dude, the guys in these bands have, like Chad, I think he's in like 4 different bands. Like they're just like such prolific artists.
Dude, this is pretty psychedelic artwork.
I know.
This is very cool.
Yeah, and that label, or I don't know if they just press the records, but In the Red does all the Fuzz and like those kinds of bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one. Check that out.
Wow, it's got these eyes and shit.
Yeah, there's like 2 sets of eyes.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking for something, man, a little bit quicker, a little bit heavier, great workout music, just great like music gets you pumped up.
Dude, this is really cool looking. This is the kind of thing that I do think about with like my like album artwork and stuff that I put out. I was like, I just threw it together real quick. Like this is like somebody took the time to make this.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's the same person. So the woman that made, have you seen the Fuzz, the first album that I posted on Records and Things?
No.
It's here. I'll show it to you real quick. It's like this dude is. I'm wondering if she did that same artwork.
Because this is cool. Thanks for this, man. I appreciate
you're welcome,
it.
dude. This, like, check this out. Like, such cool artwork. And dude, I think it's a testament to the, like, the band. Like,
yeah, to take that time and to like make something cool and put something cool on your artwork versus just like what I did.
And that's why I love to like get old vinyls and stuff, because I think there are some bands that are getting back to it where like they're making the whole package.
Yeah,
like it's cool, man, to stream the music, man, but there's something about like opening a fresh record, pointing out the sleeve, looking at the lyrics, looking at the band's story, having beautiful artwork, and just like having this piece of art. It's just it's nice, dude, to have.
You know what's cool about this stuff is like, and it's a good point, and I kind of realize this like the past few days of getting back to making music is sometimes when I get away from it, then I go back into the mode of like, song needs to be song, like it got to be engaging, blah, blah, blah. And then part of this new song that I'm working on is like, it's got like an intro section. It's like a minute long. It's like slow, then it builds. There's like a choir kind of like sound to it. And then it like dies out and goes into the real song. I'm maybe going to make them like 2 separate pieces. Yeah. And I'm like, who cares? Like, who cares if somebody likes it? Like, let me make this to be as good as I possibly can make it. And if I want to release that as like a little mini EP type thing, then I can do that. Maybe I'll record like an acoustic version of it too, because I play it acoustically. So like maybe I can do that and like make something of it, you know? And I'm glad that I started just by putting out 2 songs. I'm going to put out another song in like maybe a couple weeks or something like that. And then maybe I'll take this and put it out as like a mini EP or something. Yeah, you should. That. But like getting back to that mindset of like, fuck it, who cares? Like I'm not making this for other people. I want to make it as good as possible so that people enjoy it, you know? Or like people could hear it and be like, whoa, that's cool. I've never really heard something like that. That's pretty sweet. But like I want to make something where like I hear it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like that feels good.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
So I'm hoping the challenge will help with that.
Yeah, it will. I'm positive that it will. Yeah, dude. It doesn't matter. you're making your own art. You're doing your own thing. If everybody stuck to all the boundaries on everything, dude, everything would be real vanilla.
I interviewed this guy named Rob J. He's got his own podcast called Inside the Podcaster Studio, and that was one of the things that made me want to interview him. Is when I was listening to him in like a Clubhouse meeting, he was like, "Yeah, dude, one of the things I learned from interviewing all of these different podcasters is like, there really is no rules. If you want to put an intro at the end of your podcast, if you want to, you do whatever you want, and like, that's cool. And like, I want to do that with this. Like, that's why I keep these episodes or just like us or whoever we want to bring in, and then do the other episodes as like, people that I want to have. I don't know if serious interviews is the right thing, but like, it can be more serious or ask them about something. Like, I don't know that a CEO of a company or anything like that is going to want to come in and talk about records or
for sure.
shit, for a full hour, but they'll want to talk about other stuff. And like, who cares? You can
do everything, man.
You can do both. And then we can do this podcast where we're just literally listening to music and
I'm
talking.
I'm pumped to do that.
I'm fucking excited, man. As soon as we started talking about it and you were like, yeah, let's do it, I was like, he's in?
Yeah, let's go, dude. Of course. Why would I not be in?
We can like release it in like seasons almost. So that way maybe we could probably bang out like 15 of them in the course of a month or something, where just like once a week on like a weekend, we just sit down with like four albums, listen to them, record it, and then just release it all at once.
Let's do it, dude. Let's start soon.
Dude, I've got like, I think like the 8 albums that I
take a picture of your album, send it to me, and then I say
send me a list.
Yeah, I say we just do it. Make sure we know what we each other want to listen to,
and then I think we gotta like actually listen to the albums. Like, I gotta listen to your albums, you gotta listen to mine beforehand.
Or even if we don't listen to them beforehand, I think it might still be cool if we're just gonna listen to them on the podcast.
I want to do it where we listen to, because so that way we can like appreciate it. Because for my shit, like these albums, I fucking love them. Yeah. And so like having some context for it,
that makes sense.
And then hearing somebody like explain why they like it, then I can get into an album way more. Versus like just hearing something for the first time. Like, I'm almost like a recluse when it comes to like hearing music for the first time. I'm like, I want to be alone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Dude,
yeah. You're like you appreciate music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, there'll be nights where like, I know people love to watch TV. I like to watch TV too at night. But dude, there'd be some nights, dude, I'll put a record on or put my headphones in. I'll just kick back and I'll listen to the whole record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That'll be fun, because there's some of these like albums that are just like, they're fucking works of art. And dude, it's just what you could choose not to listen. That's fine.
Like, dude, think about like, I know you put a lot of time into your other, opposite state albums, but like, the 2 songs that you have made recently, like, think how much time went into those 2 songs. Now add, another 8 songs and then put them on an album and make some cool artwork. Like, that's a huge part of your life, and it's a huge part of like who you are and the stuff that you make and things you believe in.
Yeah,
like you can put it in this little. You can put it in here, and then the whole world can hear it. I think it's
wild.
Cool. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And dude, a big part of listening to music sometimes is hearing it in the right setting or with the right people. Like, if we listen to this music, like most people will probably be like, why the fuck would I listen to 2 people talking over an album that aren't the artist? And it's like, there's been times where I go see a band live and I finally get it. Like seeing 311 for the first time live, I was finally like, I really liked them. And then once I saw them live, I was like, I get it. Yes. I get it now. Yeah. And hearing people, part of that is you see other people enjoying themselves and you hear it for like what it is. And you're like, oh, this is cool. So like, if you play an album and somebody's like, oh, listen to this fucking little sound that's over here, like, and you're like, what? That's like, I never heard that shit. Like, I never would have thought to listen to that.
You know who Henry Rollins is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got this. I don't know what these are. They're like 1-minute videos on YouTube where people are talking to him. And he's like giving him he's giving like album recommendations. And he's like, Joy Division, this, listen to this. And he like talks in one of them out, like he has like a listening partner. Like, he's got a buddy that comes over and he's like, we'll just like intently listen to these albums, and he goes, it's a total different experience.
Yeah.
Like when you put like when you're ready to listen to it, he goes, you get a totally different outlook on it. Instead of just driving around listening to stuff or doing this. Yeah, it's
like intentional.
Yeah, it's a lost thing. People don't do it anymore.
These kinds of headphones, they're like studio headphones, but they have like, it's called a flat response curve. So it's supposed to present the sounds to you as accurately as possible. So like if you listen, like my other headphones that have like the red, the gray ones,
Yeah.
like they have, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but they have like the bass frequencies kind of boosted and things like that. So like it's shaped, like the sound has like a color to it. It's like the tone is shaped. These are supposed to be as like neutral as possible, so you can kind of hear everything that's wrong. But the cool thing about that is if it's well mixed, you can kind of hear everything as it's supposed to be.
That's nice.
Yeah. So like as you go and you listen to something, you can hear like little textures. Like when you start to listen to these things a little deeper, you can start to pick up on the way that the artist is making you feel.
Yeah, how they intended for it to be.
Like there's a Sticky Fingers song. It's called Another Episode. And if you really listen, it in the background, it almost sounds like a little crinkle. Like, and it's like, and it goes like left to right. So it's like, and you're just like, it's an eerie kind of feeling. And that's like the feeling of the song. But a critical piece is like a super low volume little texture thing that's just floating back and forth that you don't even realize.
Did you listen to their new song?
I didn't yet.
You're gonna love the tremolo in it. Is very cool.
Is it?
It's that pedal that you bought. It sounds like that exact pedal.
Which one?
So
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's really cool. You listen to it.
All right.
I'll
listen.
So there's the second track on that, and then we can close it up if you want. Is Disorder. I've been listening to this album for like probably 12 plus months, and there's a Disorder, the second track. There's like a keyboard in there, and it literally is just on one note, almost like 80% of the song, and I just noticed it.
Really?
Yeah. It's like me, and then he lets it up for a minute, and then he goes back down on it, and I'm like, it's one note through almost the entire song, and I didn't even realize that was happening.
Right?
You'll hear it, yeah.
Dude, that's one of the great parts about going back and re-listening to music, like albums over and over and over again, is like, those are the bands that I love, is when you listen to an album, you hear something new almost every single time that you hear it. It's almost like sometimes making a really good song or like a recorded song is making like 5 parallel songs in one.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to just like the hi-hat and the bass together or something like that, like 2 components, like could that be a song in itself? Like could you listen to that and like, does that make you move? Cool. Does this one guitar part and like a backup vocal, like could those sound cool together if you just had those played? Like, yes, it might sound totally different than the song itself, but like, if those individual things sound cool, then you're gonna start appreciating it each time you listen.
How many sounds can the human ear hear at once? Do you know?
No.
I'll look this up.
Look it up.
I just thought about this. Maybe that's why we keep coming back to the same music, is because we're only listening to certain sounds in them, and then later on you find like, oh, I just noticed this sound, and then maybe it drowns out another sound. That's like a totally different song. Let's look.
Dude, yeah.
How many sounds can a hear at once? I spelled almost all these words wrong.
I'm actually interested to see what this is.
So this is from the Audible Spectrum Neuroscience NCBI bookshelf. This sounds pretty legit. Humans can detect sounds in a frequency range from about 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Human infants can actually hear frequencies slightly higher than 20 kilohertz, but lose some high frequency sensitivity as they mature.
So basically what that's saying, okay, the baby is not on the way yet. So basically what that's saying is, like, you ever seen like the spectrum, like the sound spectrum? It's like 0 to 20,000 hertz. So or 20,000 kilohertz, whatever it is. But like those are the frequencies that the human ear can hear. But I think what you're saying is like how much of that at one time can you hear?
Like if you were to like have 100 sounds going off in this room at once, you're only going to focus in on a handful of them. I'm curious about how many
you can actually
like focus in on and
entertain at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Because imagine trying to like, isn't that a weird thing to think about? Like trying to, so like you have like different sounds going and like trying to focus in on all this stuff at once. What part of the brain is that?
I think that's why it's cool when you have those drummers. You ever seen like two drummers side by side, like drumline type drummers who can like play their half of the rhythm and the other person is playing the other half, but it's not even like doom 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 doom. It's like
the same time.
And this person's like like it's fucking that shit's wild. My old drummer could do that from like my college band. He was part of a drumline group, and he said that one of the ways they would do that is they would tie like one arm to another arm, and then both people would share the same drum. So like they were like basically like we're one person. Like they.
So you'd really have to be ready for that next.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That is really sweet.
And he could drum, dude. He was a good drummer.
I bet. Yeah.
He was real good. So, all right, dude. Thanks for this. I'm gonna check this out. So this is the
Meatbodies. Check it out. It's their first
Meatbodies.
album. I think it's just titled Meatbodies. But yeah, good kind of
really
punk
cool
rock,
artwork,
surf rock.
dude. Really cool artwork.
Yeah. I'll throw it on records and things as today's.
This stuff makes me. This is the kind of stuff that makes me want to do art.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I love hearing good art. It makes me want to do good art. Like, hearing good stand-up, hearing good music, seeing good art, it makes me go like, oh, I want to step my game up.
And, like, stuff like that, for me, at least, it inspires me.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, listen, I was like, I love the album art on this. This is such a cool album. Well-rounded. It's like, where do these guys get their inspiration to make this stuff? And where do those people get their inspiration?
Dude, and part of it is like you can find that too. You just have to do it. You just have to go and do and not expect it to be a certain way. Like I was listening to Death. Dude, I was blown away. I listened to that album 2 times in a row.
It's awesome.
It's awesome,
the
dude.
Beginning. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah.
And there's some like groovy fucking psychedelic type sounds in there.
They remind me of like a mild Bad Brains in a way.
Yeah. Yes.
That's when we should review Bad Brains. I don't even know what the name of that album is.
Band in DC.
Is that? Yeah, that is. Yep. With
the Lightning Bolt.
Yes. That's a good album.
Seagraves actually told me about that album.
Oh, it's amazing.
And then when we were listening to Sound System by 311 on the way home, you're like, is this Bad Brains? Because they have that Bad Brains cover. Leaving Babylon.
Yeah. Dude, Bad Brains is amazing.
Yeah. That guy seems like a fucking nut job.
Some of their yeah. Well, I think he left.
Did he?
Yeah. Because
he got
Bad Brains is still
from DC.
I think he got banned in DC. I think he left and somebody else came in.
Took over.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thanks.
All right,
I'm fucking pumped. I'm pumped to do this new show. So
let's do it. Yeah, let's start in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll get some stuff going.
Yeah. I'll bring this thing over. Cool. We can record in Anchor. So that'll be like a Spotify exclusive, so we can use their discography, whatever, all their music.
Yep. But yeah, we just got to figure out some.
Hell yeah.
Details.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Cool.
Good idea.
And I got to do my art tonight.
Yeah, I got to do mine too. I don't know if I'm gonna finish just writing some lyrics on a napkin that I have, or if I'm gonna do
whatever you got to do.
Yeah. You know what you're gonna do?
No. Nope. And it's only 8 p.m., so we still got 4 hours.
Oh, she's only 8. Yeah, dude, we're good.
We're good. All right.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Later.